First, let's talk about the Big Bang Theory. This theory states that our universe began as a singularity, a point of infinite density and temperature, about 13.8 billion years ago. This singularity expanded and cooled, creating the building blocks for stars, galaxies, and planets. The expansion of the universe is still ongoing and it's being accelerated by dark energy. The universe is also filled with dark matter, which makes up about 85% of the universe's mass energy. The Big Bang Theory is supported by several lines of evidence, such as the cosmic microwave background radiation, the large-scale structure of the universe, and the abundance of light elements. The Big Bang Theory is considered as the leading explanation for the origin of the universe. The universe continued to expand and cool, and as a result, the first atoms were formed. The universe cooled enough for protons and neutrons to come together to form the first atomic nuclei, mostly hydrogen and helium. These atoms then combined to form the first stars and galaxies. The first stars were massive and luminous, and they lived for only a few million years before exploding as supernovae and spreading the heavier elements into space. This process is known as nucleosynthesis. This created the building blocks for the second and third generation of stars, including our own Sun. As the universe continued to expand and cool, matter began to clump together to form massive clouds. These clouds eventually collapsed under their own gravity to form galaxies, which are collections of billions of stars held together by gravity. Our own galaxy, the Milky Way, is thought to have formed around 13.6 billion years ago. This galaxy is a barred spiral galaxy, which has a bar-shaped structure at the center and spiral arms. The Milky Way is home to about 100 billion stars, including our Sun, and it has several satellite galaxies. The study of galaxies provides us with insight into the universe's large-scale structure and evolution. About 4.6 billion years ago, a cloud of gas and dust called a solar nebula began to collapse under its own gravity. At the center of this collapse, the Sun was formed. As the cloud continued to collapse, it began to spin, flattening into a disk. This spinning disk eventually gave birth to the planets, including Earth. The planets formed from the dust and gas in the solar nebula that was not incorporated into the Sun. This process is called accretion, where small particles gradually stick together to form larger bodies. The solar system consists of 4 terrestrial planets, which are closer to the Sun and are made mostly of rock and metal, and 4 giant planets, which are farther from the Sun and are mostly made of gas and ice. But how did life begin on Earth? Scientists believe that life began on Earth around 3.5 billion years ago, through a process called abiogenesis. This process states that simple organic molecules, such as amino acids, gradually formed more complex molecules that eventually gave rise to living organisms. The earliest forms of life on Earth were simple, single-celled organisms. Over time, these organisms evolved into more complex forms, eventually leading to the emergence of multicellular organisms. The origin of life on Earth is still a topic of ongoing research, but scientists have proposed several hypotheses, such as the Miller-Urey experiment, the RNA world hypothesis, and the iron-sulfur world hypothesis. And finally, let's talk about the evolution of life on Earth. Over billions of years, life on Earth has gone through a process of gradual change and diversification, known as evolution. This process is driven by the survival and reproduction of the organisms best suited to their environment. This process eventually led to the emergence of human beings, who have been around for around 200,000 years. Humans are the most recent addition to the tree of life and have evolved from primates, who evolved from mammals, who evolved from reptiles, who evolved from fish, and so on. The theory of evolution by natural selection, proposed by Charles Darwin and Alfred Russel Wallace in the 19th century, is the most widely accepted explanation for the diversity of life on Earth. It states that organisms with advantageous traits are more likely to survive and reproduce, passing on those traits to their offspring. Over time, These advantageous traits become more common in a population, leading to the development of new species. The evolution of human beings is a particularly interesting topic. Humans belong to the genus Homo. And we have evolved from a common ancestor with chimpanzees and gorillas. The first members of the genus Homo, such as Homo habilis, appeared around 2.8 million years ago. They were the first to use stone tools and to walk upright on two legs. Later on, Homo erectus, Homo heidelbergensis and Homo neanderthalensis appeared. And eventually, Homo sapiens emerged around 200,000 years ago. Humans have developed advanced cognitive abilities, such as language, which have enabled us to create complex societies and cultures. From the Big Bang to the birth of mankind, this has been a detailed overview of the evolution of our universe. The history of our universe is vast and complex, but understanding it can give us a deeper appreciation for our place in the cosmos. We are a small part of a vast universe. But the story of our origin and evolution is one of the most fascinating and important stories that we can tell. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe and hit the like button for more.